Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So, today we're looking at not just two, but in this case, I think this is the first time we've actually done this, 3 episodes from Star Trek Enterprise. Well, let's not mess around and beat the bush. Let's talk about the first one, which is the episode Fusion. What happens in this episode? Well, Enterprise encounters a group of unconventional Vulcans, one of whom leads T'Pol into further exploring her emotions.
Just because they smile and eat chicken doesn't mean they've learned to master their emotions.
Maybe I'm just relieved to finally meet some Vulcans who aren't giving me a hard time.
I gotta say, what makes this episode, honestly, worth checking out is, the parts where T'Pol is exploring her emotions, and as well as there is one Vulcan, one of the subplots is of a Vulcan who is having to reach out to his father because his father is, very sick. That one kind of, got to me in a way because, at one point my dad was sick, and I had to, go to see him, and, God took its, path, I guess. But, honestly, I kind of thought that was a very well-written part of the episode. Honestly, I think this episode was actually very good in the fact it gave, some character development for T'Pol, and that, well, not only was this episode is the, say how the mind meld for Vulcans is introduced, and in this way it feels more, instead of the mind meld where usually the mind meld is just say, hey, where our minds are linked, we're trying to figure out each other's thoughts and all that. Here it seems more in a way evasive in the fact that Tolera is basically in a way kind of assaults her with the mind meld. So, and after that point, basically, Archer says, "Hey, you need to get off my ship before I kick your butt." And then they basically say, "Okay," and then they all get off the ship. So, overall, I think this episode is worth checking out. I think it's pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at an episode, which is the episode Rogue Planet. So what was this episode about? While exploring an uncharted planet, the Enterprise crew remembers a group of aliens who are hunting indigenous creatures for recreation. In this way, basically, the indigenous creature is a wraith or a ghost that can take the form of anything it wants, and Archer is the only one who is able to see it, and it is basically taking the form of a beautiful woman from his past. Honestly, I gotta say the moments where it is having the guys and talking about their past with the wraith and all that, it's like a hunter's regrets and all that. I kind of thought those guys were doing a really good job with what they were given us, monologues and all that. So I thought they did a pretty good job. However, it could be a little bit tedious at times. I will say that, I'm a big stickler when it comes to lighting, because, hey, If I can light a review, then you should be able to do enough lighting to like a show. But here's the thing, though, like this episode takes place mostly in the darkness in the woods. Like, you know, I will say that parts of the issue of it, though, is that the camera work is nice, and I guess it does well when it comes to using natural lighting. When it comes to light, for me, it's always like, say, if you have to use natural lighting, fine. But at the same time, you should still be able to. I mean, I'm probably wrong about this, but I can see clearly all the actors. But sometimes it doesn't always look like, say, okay, what are we looking at? Honestly. But I guess sometimes that was the point of episodes in this era for Enterprise. Because remember, this is only season 1. So, honestly, I do think everyone is doing a good job when it comes to acting.
Never stop seeking what seems unobtainable. Goodbye, Jonathan. Don't forget me.
I guess the issue of this one, though, is it can be a bit tedious, in all honesty. But it's not like, say, like, oh, this episode's terrible. No. It's just a bit of a slow burn, honestly. But the acting is good. Cinematography is pretty good. But it's not like, what I'm trying to say is, like, say, it's not like, say, one you could, like, miss. But at the same time, it's like, say, oh, you might want to check it out. For the acting and all that. So let's go ahead and look at the next episode, which is episode Acquisition. So what was this episode about? A group of alien thieves knock out the Enterprise crew and begin looting the Enterprise. Begin looting the ship. Tucker, and he's the only one able to stop them, along with the captain and T'Pol. Well, they get woken up eventually too. When it comes to episodes involving the Trekkie, honestly, this one is sort of like a prequel to the episode The Last Outpost for Star Trek The Next Generation. And that at the end of the episode they say, hey, don't ever like get involved with, you know, the Federation and all that stuff. But, you know, I will say that the idea of pirate Trekkie is actually kind of cool. And honestly, I think everyone does a good job.
This? I didn't put them there. Oh, really? Then who did? I tell you, I don't know. Maybe they just jumped off the table and crawled inside.
And honestly, I like the character of Krim in that he is more of a Trekkie who is basically just like, say, yes, sir, or the guy who is basically just like, say, sure, I'll do that. And I like the character development he gets in the fact that he goes from, like, say, this was in this label as I say, you know, I'm gonna be the captain of our ship and make all the decisions. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. But I guess the issue with the Trekkie is that sometimes it can be hard to take them serious, and that they're just goofy.
Do you understand me?
I can't lock onto its language. It's a lower life form, you fool. Probably the captain's next meal. Don't be so sure.
I'd say the whole idea of them was that they were the alien race that was going to be taking over for the Klingons. However, the alien that eventually would take over the Klingons and Star Trek The Next Generation were the Borg. So, we have that. I will say that I found this episode kind of entertaining, mostly because the actors playing the Ferengi really give it all they can. They're just, like, say, having fun with it. Whether it's, like, say, the, use of physical body movement they do, the, way they do the voices as the characters. So, honestly, I think this episode is pretty entertaining. If you like the Ferengi, you might like this. The Clint Howard, Evan Phillips, and Jeffrey Combs, they all do a pretty good job, honestly. And I gotta say, for those who like Colin Tucker and his underwear,
Commander.
You're gonna be fine.
Just because a guy's in his underwear, you think the worst.
you might like it. And I guess this is like an episode where you see like the friendship between T'Pol and Tucker. But honestly, I can say this episode is entertaining. If I could say this, I would say I would rewatch the episodes, rewatch episode Fusion, and this one again. I wouldn't really check out Rogue Planet much. I might like say if I was watching with friends for a Star Trek Enterprise watch, if we had to watch all of them. But what do you guys think of these 3 episodes? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Put your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know. As always, thank you for watching, and I shall be sure to see you next time. See you later.